my friends, my family, Goth Squad, everybody out there. I wanted to come on here to do a quick vlog about what happened this past weekend. I usually want to keep this channel as positive and as light as possible, but I just wanted to give you my hotel horror story of this past weekend because I was pretty upset about it. This weekend was probably one of the worst and best experiences I've ever had. For once, I got to see The Descendants and The Damned in the same weekend, and that was amazing, but also had to stay at one of the worst hotels, I guess the worst customer service I've ever gotten. So let me just jump right into it. Basically, what happened is we had to stay in Milwaukee for one part of our trip, and then in Chicago for the other part of our trip. And we stayed at Chicago like a billion times, but this time in Milwaukee, we stayed at and the reason why I'm telling you this is just kind of a forewarning of what happened in case you're ever in town, or if you're ever in Milwaukee and whatnot, and you need a hotel. Anyways, we stayed at the Hampton Inn & Suites in downtown Milwaukee, and the reason why I got it is because it had a pretty good star rating and everything like that, and one other person suggested it. So I was like, cool, you know, this is where we're going to stay at. It's right in the middle of everything. We could walk and all the other good stuff. So, as soon as we get up there, there was construction at the front of the door, which is fine. Hotels do construction and renovations, and that's not a big deal. The only problem was there was no signs or anything to tell me if I need to go to this door or that door. There was not a person out there to help you out, to, you know, to kind of direct you where you needed to go. And the only spot available for the car was a bus stop, which, you know, if you drive or you've driven in cities and things like that, usually if you park in a bus stop where the buses come in, you're going to get a ticket. So my husband had to stay in the driver's seat. He had the car running. I ran in, and the construction worker actually was the one that helped me out. He was like, no, it's okay, you can go inside. So I went inside, and I told him, hey, we want to do valet. There's all this construction, and you know, and we didn't know where to park. So they're like, okay, well, he'll be out in a couple of minutes. All right. So I went ahead, and I'm like, well, there's no one to help with the luggage. I guess I'll grab a rolly cart and I'll do it myself. Whatever. So I grabbed the rolly cart, I go outside, through the construction. Once again, the construction worker helped me out. Not the hotel people. The construction worker helped me out. I started to pull some bags and stuff like that out of the car. Well, as I'm doing that, this man, I'm towards the back of the car, towards the trunk, opening up, trying to get some stuff out, and this man, I look over, and this man goes and he opens the car door and is basically starting to get into the car. At first, you know, where I'm looking at, I'm like, maybe he thought we were like a Uber or a ride or something like that, and he didn't know. And then I hear my husband going, no, I don't want that, get the hell out. I'm like, what's going on? So the guy left. I go over to the side and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, that guy just tried to sell me Klonopins and Perk 30s and some other drugs, and he was basically trying to sell my husband drugs, and he was like, and my husband of course said, you know, get the hell out, you know, what the hell? So I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I have the luggage and he has the car running because, you know, in case if a meter maid or somebody comes by, you know, he could say, you know, well, I'm waiting for valet, you know, that's the whole point of waiting for valet. So I go in with the luggage and I tell the lady, hey, you know, we're still waiting, he's not out there. Oh, and sorry about the lighting, y'all. It's like a really weird overcast day, and it's just, it's Wisconsin, it's a hot mess. So I go, hey, there's no valet, he hasn't been out, where is he at, what's going on? Well, the lady goes, well, you can leave me the car keys and just lock the car and he'll be out. And I'm like, no, there's no places, we're in a, you know, like a bus stop area, we could get ticketed. That's the only reason why we have the car running and everything. Oh, okay, well, he'll be out in a couple more minutes. It took him almost an hour to get out to park our car. Not to help us with the luggage or anything else, just to get out and park the car. No one helped us with luggage or anything like that. Fine, whatever. So we finally get the car parked. So then, I didn't realize it, but the hotel has this weird kind of split level thing. So She tells us to go to one elevator. We go into one elevator and we can't get to our room with the luggage cart because it's downstairs. It's like you have to go up and then go down. It's really weird. So we had to go all the way around, go all the way back into this other elevator, and then we get into our room and I'm just like, I just want to put stuff up, you know, and then use the bathroom. I go into the bathroom, I turn on the light, and I don't know why I instinctively put my hand down. I put my hand down on a wet, dirty rag, which I have no idea where it's been. So I'm not happy about that. So I'm like, oh, that's gross. So I go downstairs and I let them know about the wet, dirty rag. And they're like, okay, well, we'll have somebody come up and fix that. I'm like, okay, well, can you suggest a restaurant or something? So they told us to go to this one place. Well, we went to this one place and half the menu items they weren't selling because of a show or something going on. So I'm like, well, this sucks. So then we just decided to walk around and explore because we had some time before the show and whatnot. So we walked around, did all that, come back to the room, everything's fine, whatever. I think all they did was take the wet rag out. That's about it. But anyways, so the next day we go out and it's, you know, the day of the show and all of those stuff. We asked them to have the valet bring the car around. The valet brings the car around and we noticed, and when we get in the car, all of the compartments are open. All of the little, like, you know, weird compartments where you store things are open. And my husband has this one tiny, tiny little compartment by the side of the steering wheel that he keeps all of his change. And that's all of his change for like meters and stuff like that, because we usually end up in downtown areas that have meters and things like that. All that money is gone. It's just gone. So we noticed that like the CDs have been rifled through, like, you know, I don't know what else was taken, but like just like little things were taken, the change was taken, and I'm just like, great. Stuff got stolen out of our car. That's awesome. Nothing too expensive, but still, it's the fact that like you're paying for a service to make sure that your stuff is safe. You know, you're paying for a valet, which is not, you know, it's not cheap. Okay, it's not cheap. So you're paying for them to make sure that your car is locked and saved and nothing's messed with. And that totally is not what happened. So my husband and I was like, well, we're just going to go to the show, we're going to sleep, and we're going to be gone the next day. We're going to be going to Chicago. So the next day we left. We just wanted to get out of town. So we got our car again. It was a different valet guy. Got our car again and we started off on the road. Well, his phone didn't charge, so we noticed that it was starting to go down. So he's like, hey, look for the car charger. And I'm looking around. It's gone. They stole that too. The car charger's gone too. So I'm like, crap. We had to pull off on the side of the road and basically find a place that sells car chargers so we could charge his phone to have directions to the next place, which was really inconvenient. It took more time out of our weekend, and it was just one thing after another. What really made me upset, and what made me decided to make a video about it, was the fact that when we got home, because the reason why we didn't complain at the front desk is because we were kind of afraid, well, hey, if either the valet did it because of negligence, he forgot to lock the car, or he did it on purpose, he stole stuff out of the car. Who's to say if we complain about it, he wouldn't do something else like key the car or, you know, cut the tires or something like that. So I was like, I'm just going to call when I get home and call Hampton Inn & Suites. They're owned by Hilton Hotels. So I called and I complained and I told them everything that happened. And instead of her, you know, saying, I'm sorry, do you want a refund or do you want a partial refund or something, she's like, are you part of our rewards program? No, not that I know of. Not that I can think of. What does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you what happened. It was not a good experience. It was one thing after another. Well, she's like, well, we could give you $50 worth of reward points. That's what we could do. I'm like, I'm never going to stay at that hotel again. I'm going to find a different hotel to stay at when I go to Milwaukee. Well, that's the best we could do, is give you some of our reward points if you sign up with our reward program. I'm like, are you serious? Seriously, after all that, like, that's it? You could offer me some points. That, really? Well, we're gonna let the hotel know. And I was just like, that's the best you can do. That's the best you could do, you know? And I'm like, there's, not like a refund or something. And she's like, what, for the $5? And she got kind of an attitude. And I'm like, how about for the valet? How about for the charging of the valet? Because obviously he didn't do his job and stuff was stolen. How about at least that? Because that was like what, like $30 a night, I believe. So like $60 plus the stuff that was stolen out of our car. Or an apology, something. And she's like, no, but you could sign up for our rewards program. She kept talking about the rewards program. And I'm like, it was so frustrating. And it was just so, like, just disheartening. And it was just, I'm sorry. So, and she's like, well, we have hotels around the world. I'm just like, and so I gave her an example. And I was like, look, we stayed at the Chicago hotel, and they were having construction too. They had a person outside. They were, hey, you go over here to this door. They were right out there ready to help you. It was a totally different, it was a similar situation and a totally different experience. It was the hotel that we usually stay in, and it was amazing. And we got to see the dam, and it was a great time. But yeah, the Hampton Inn Suites, it was horrible. It was dirty, things got stolen, I didn't get an apology, and they were just trying to push their rewards program so I could stay at their crappy hotel again. So, no. Sorry, Hampton Inn and Suites, downtown Milwaukee. I'm never going to stay at that hotel again. I'll find a different hotel, whether it's Marriott or whatever. I know... sad to say, I know that they are part of the Hilton Hotel, whatever. I just don't know. I just feel like they could have done a lot more, or at least apologized. I mean, I've worked in customer service, on the retail side, but it was not a good experience. So I'm sorry to tell you about that. It was not a fun time. I know it's not like a crazy story, nobody got shot or anything, thank God. There was no ghosts or something. Hey, you know what, if there were ghosts, I would have been happier. I would have been like, oh, this is amazing, my hotel's haunted. But no, I didn't even get a haunted hotel. No, I just got a really crappy hotel with crappy service and things got stolen. So just a forewarning, please don't stay down there. Find a different hotel. The location was great, but everything else was just a misery. Anyways, I'm so sorry to do that to you. I needed to vent. I needed to get it out. So thank you so much, friends, for letting me get it out. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you next time. If you like this video, I guess comment, subscribe, do that whole thing, hit the notification. If you've had a similar experience in another hotel, leave that down below. I like to, hear from you and all the other stuff. If you had something like that happen, just let me know, and then we could share and vent and get it out, because I think, getting it out kind of made me feel a little bit better. At least I got to do that, because I don't know. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, and it's bright and sunny and beautiful, and the birds are chirping, and you're having a great time. Okay, so thank you. Bye-bye.